Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. Well, traditionally, every September, the BC Thanksgiving Food Drive launches the season of giving. And last year, 500,000 pounds of food was donated across the province. This year, the tradition remains, but looks different, of course. And joining us now is Cynthia Boulder with the Greater Vancouver Food Bank. Good morning. Nice to have you.
Good morning.
So COVID, of course, has added a layer of complication when it comes to food donations. So tell us the issue your distribution sites are facing right now.
Well, the biggest issue is keeping people safe. So we have had to change pretty much every part of what we do, and we have had to create a lot of physical distancing protocols, and that's right from lineups to the way we distribute food, the distance between our volunteers and staff and our clients, sanitization protocols. So pretty much everything has changed, and we're starting to see the demand go up, certainly with new clients and new people registering each day, some who haven't used the food bank before and some who have used it years ago and now are finding themselves in a position to need it again.
And the food is also very waste heavy too. Isn't it like up to 50% or something of food donations ends up being wasted?
Yeah, so when we have people doing food drives, the intent is great, but at least 30% of what comes in is waste. So it's either too damaged or it's too old for us to distribute. There's sort of no nutritional value left and it's not safe to eat. And then we have to pay to get rid of that. So that's historically cost us about $25,000 a year, which people don't think of, but that's not how we want to spend our donors' dollars. So we ask for monetary donations instead. There are lots of ways to raise money and donate online or via check, and lots of great reasons why money is better than food for us.
And if people don't have the money to donate, they can volunteer.
They can volunteer, and we have volunteers both in our warehouse as well as in our food distribution sites. And then coming up to the busiest season for donating, we also have volunteers in our office helping with taking calls and taking donations. And those donations, they really make a difference because our buying power with our industry partners and with the farmers that we deal directly with is so much greater than, say, yours or mine in the store. So we can usually double the value of a monetary donation. And then depending on whether it's, say, summer or fall and we're buying direct from farmers, we can turn that from, say, 2-to-1 to 5-to-1 or 8-to-1 if we're buying apples or potatoes, say, just as an example. So that's why we like to stretch those dollars. And we also create menus every week for our distribution, and they're composed of all the different food groups. And we have 3 children's programs that are focused on high nutrition, muscle development, brain development, and we don't substitute in those programs. So we're not going to take, say, hemp hearts or hummus and substitute it for crackers or ranch dip. There's a reason why these ingredients are in there, and we need to purchase them for the most part. And when people donate funds, then we can buy what we need, and we have access to industry deals that you and I don't have access to. So it makes a huge difference for us.
Good to know. It's interesting how you guys operate, to learn more about that. So cash over food. So what kind of an increase, Cynthia, are we seeing in demand since the COVID-19 pandemic started? How many people are relying on food banks right now in Metro Vancouver?
Well, we are averaging, we kind of saw a dip initially, as pretty much all the large food banks did when everyone stayed at home. We're back up to, say, about 8,500 people a week that we are serving individually across the 4 cities that we support, so Vancouver, Burnaby, New West, and the North Shore. But we also have really increased the amount of food that we're putting into the community through the community agencies that we support. Not everybody knows that that's a huge part of what we do with the food that we buy and receive as donations. And we actually took a large portion of the federal funding that we received, which was kind of unprecedented, and bought refrigeration for a number of our agency partners in these communities. And we've offered them food for up to about 450 people each week. And this refrigeration helps their sustainability and their capacity. So we've really increased that, and that offer alone is speaking to about another 8,000 or 9,000 people. So we've seen a huge demand there with our agencies as well.
And another announcement coming from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at 9 o'clock Pacific time this morning for food banks across Canada. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Always great to have you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.